Alright, we are live. Hello, YouTube. Hello, hello. Yeah. There have been some issues going on with advertising and demonetization and advertisers worrying. And first of all, I need to state, I can't monetize right now. I'm okay with that. I like what Linus from Linus Tech Tips said. Hey, Jordan. He said once that, it's better to not have advertisements on and get a solid fan base that you know will stick with you and share your videos and keep getting views for you. And then, after a while, then when you have that solid fan base, you say, hey, I'm turning on advertisements because I want to do this more full time and make more videos for you guys, and I have to do that so that then I can, get less hours or quit my day job altogether. So, I'm going to tilt this down just a bit. I'm folding laundry right now, so don't mind socks popping up now and then. I've got some other shirts and stuff in the dryer, because we'll get to see some of my wardrobe. But, so here's the thing. What's been happening recently with YouTube is, so you've got perfectly innocent videos of little kids playing, I don't know, board games or doing gymnastics is a big one. And then you've got people who are pedophiles, and they're going on to those videos, and they are finding all of the wonderful moments for them in those videos and leaving time codes on the videos. Yes, it's absolutely disgusting and horrible. But they are leaving time codes. If you're not familiar, a time code is where in the comments, like someone says, at 1 minute 54 seconds, oh wow, that was amazing, really funny. And then you click on it, and it takes you there. That's what a time code is. And so, first of all, it's disgusting. People shouldn't do it. But second of all, advertisers are worrying, and YouTube's knee-jerk reaction is disabling comments on a lot of channels, including family channels. And no, comments are a big, huge, huge part of YouTube that you can't just disable like that. I mean, if the original creator wants to disable it, sure, they can. But I don't think you should do that, YouTube. There's a much, much better solution. Because, I mean, imagine if all you could see on your video was views. There were no comments, and no likes, and no dislikes. So, wow, my video is really popular. I wonder why. Or maybe it's just getting massive views because of how awful it is and you have absolutely no idea, unless you find some other third-party website talking about it. So seriously, we need comments still. And honestly, comments shouldn't be disabled. They should be monitored just like we monitor videos. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. But first, I need to talk about how you glean context from time codes in videos. Because some of the times, they're actually outright saying, at this moment, you can see something that most people probably wouldn't want you to see. Hee hee. All of my other internet pedo friends, come join me. That's sometimes they're being straight up like that, and sometimes it's just a smiley face and then some time codes. So, socks, yes. So, how do you tell? Well, actually, YouTube has tech in its hands that I believe could do this, because YouTube is owned by Google. So, what do? Well, first of all, we need to look at the comment itself. If the YouTube system, because they already have filters and stuff in place, which I use, although I don't think they're perfect, I need to check on that. I'll talk about that in a bit. But, so first of all, we need to say, is there anything inappropriate being said in the comment? If yes, the comment should be removed. And I think also that there should be a strike given to a person who leaves an inappropriate content. Right. So if there's something inappropriate, yes, the comment, obviously. But if there's not something inappropriate, like I said, this is an example. I haven't seen it, but it's an example from Captain Sparks, because he did a video on this today. And I like a comment that someone left on his video about this, where they said, something serious is up with YouTube if Captain Sparkles is talking about it. But, so here's the thing. So first of all, we got smiley face and then time. Maybe that's not inappropriate for whatever reason. Or maybe they put some other emoji. Let's do like a laughing emoji, because they felt that was an easy way to convey laughter because something funny happened at that moment. So first of all, what you do is you look at it and you see, oh, there are time codes. Next, your automated system then goes to the time codes, and using Google Lens, that is a cool thing Google has made where you can, I don't think all phones have it, but with your phone's camera, you can then look at stuff and it can tell you what it is. An example in the video is they had Eiffel Tower, I think it was, and someone said, oh, look, the Empire State Building, or something like that. But then, of course, their camera identified and told them that that was the Eiffel Tower, not the Empire State Building. So using that, you try and glean as much as you can from it. And if it's got a kid, if the kid is in a potential pose that's inappropriate, but not necessarily, like it's a freeze frame of a gymnastics flip. Ugh, I hate to say this, but yeah, we're there. We're talking about that now. If it's that sort of a thing, then you remove the comment. But also, you need to make sure you really look at context. Because if they said, wow, that was an amazing flip, great job, kid, keep up the good work. There is potential for that to be a way of masking, your real intent. So you still got all those time codes, those juicy time codes, but also you're masking it. There is a way to do that, and you'd have to look into more context as to whether or not it was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that, whether or not you should remove the comment. But the big thing is, you need to do that. You need to use your system. Comments should be treated just like you treat videos. Just with the same system that demonetizes or outright removes videos from YouTube, should be the same system that is working on comments. There are going to have to be some tweaks and modifications. Some people might see this as a bigger, harder, almost impossible task. I believe, I don't know for a fact, but I'm 99% positive that there are, we'll say, 5 times the number of comments on YouTube than there are videos. So it's a bigger task, but your system already handles YouTube videos for marking if they have copyrighted content and notifying the owners of said content and all sorts of things like that. You already have a system in place. Yes, it's not perfect. Yes, it is learning all the time because you have it set up to learn from its mistakes. But still, you need to apply that to comments. Again, look at the time codes. Use Google Lens to identify exactly what's going on. And Google Lens, I used it once today because it worked great. I had the one and only picture I can find of that ATN smart clock. And there was a button I didn't recognize, and it was a square with the Google Assistant dots in there. So I clicked on it, and it was Google Lens, and it identified a clock in the picture. And then it showed me other pictures of clocks. So, yeah. Ooh, sounds like my other stuff's done. Let me finish this, and then I'll go grab out toasty warm clothes and warm up, because I am actually a little bit cold. Maybe put a sweater on. But yeah, you need to do that. And then we need to have a strike system. Because, maybe people leave a comment that is inappropriate, but they don't know. Or, they have no idea at all. There's, let's call it catcalling, because it was kind of in a recent Blimey Cow video, but let's say catcalling, or otherwise saying someone looks beautiful, Sometimes people even go after the inappropriate side of beauty, and sadly, sometimes the recipient of that actually enjoys and likes it. But, let's say you've got kids, a kid, and is like, oh, that's perfectly normal. If I see something about a woman, yes, I am having a good day. See you later, Colby. So, so a kid thinks if I see something beautiful about the opposite sex, I'm going to say it, because they think it's appropriate. But it's not appropriate. Even amongst kids, you could be, I forget where I read this, but you could be 16 years old and say something along those lines about your very beautiful girlfriend, and then get in, or even send some sort of a picture along those lines, and you could possibly be in trouble for it. The picture is actually even worse. Even if you are both the same age and your boyfriend just wants a slightly inappropriate or very inappropriate picture of you, you're still going to be under penalty of all the laws that apply to pedophiles. So, yeah. So with that, maybe you've got a kid who doesn't know that that's wrong amongst children, and they are simply just stating how beautiful that person in the video is that's also a child. In which case, upon finding out, oh, that's not appropriate and right, and maybe against law or against YouTube Terms of Service, and they then therefore wouldn't do that ever again, well, then you need to have a system just like you do with videos, where you can appeal a content ID match, copyright strike, or Terms of Service violation. You should be able to do that with comments. And it should be exactly the same. You should have 3 strikes and they're out. And I don't know, maybe the first strike, nothing. Maybe the second strike, limit the number of characters they can use. And then third strike, no more comments for them. But they need to be able to still appeal it. Because with the YouTube video system, one key thing is, if you did get 3 strikes on your channel, it's not gone instantly. You can still appeal that last strike and then possibly get your channel back if they agree with you that that you were in the right and their system was in the wrong. They need to have that as a thing, but for comments. And I think it's that simple. So don't just turn off comments outright. You should let YouTube users decide on that. Now, it is going to take some time for them to implement such a system if they do. So I think a quick knee-jerk simple reaction, instead of disabling comments, you should then force channels on which you have disabled comments to monitor comments. Because since I'm not in that situation, I already monitor comments anyways. And there was even, this was from when Linus Tips talked about it, Linus and Luke talked about it on the WAN show. One of the people caught up in this, her son does gymnastics and she posts videos on it, and she had comments disabled and whatnot. She was already monitoring comments. So if they're already monitoring comments, don't do anything. If they're not monitoring comments, then force monitoring comments on them. If I was in that situation, I know that I would much rather have to monitor comments than I would, Then I would, not have comments at all. And a channel that comes to mind for me is Baby Teeth 4. 2 little girls, they do candy trying videos, but they also do a lot of shorts and stuff too. They're actually really fun and funny, and I think their dad's the writer, does a really great job. And then I was checking out one of their videos, which was actually on one of their other channels, and I noticed comments were disabled. I'm like, whoa, have they been disabled for all the videos? Which, yes, but then I realized, oh, I'm not on their main channel. I don't know if that was a thing of YouTube system, or if that was a thing of them doing it, which their choice, do whatever you want. But it kind of makes me think of them, and if they lost comments, it would be absolutely horrible. Ugh. But seriously, you need to have monitoring system in the comments, not disable them outright, and just force monitoring on people. And if the people don't want to deal with having to monitor their comments, well then that's their situation and their problem. But then you've got all the other people who are fine having to monitor comments so that they can still have comments, great. Or, even make it so that comments aren't public, but they can still see comments, because there's a lot of valuable feedback in comments. And personally, if for whatever reason, my comments couldn't be public, period, I would still want to see them so that I could glean feedback from them, even if the public eyes couldn't see them. So let me go grab my other shirts really quickly, and then I'll tell you guys about something that happened to me recently with my comments. And what I'm going to have to do with them. This is a lot of those. So, my comments. This is on, I'm going to do a separate video about this today, maybe not, maybe later tomorrow, but a lot of views are going to my video, Green's DIY Cremation and How To. Okay. I am actually, one second, let me just check. This is my work shirt. Is it? Yes, it is my Dollar Tree work shirt. The shade of green seems different, and I hope it's not because I washed it with other stuff. Everything else seems fine. My old Lucy's Pizza shirt seems fine from over there. Anyways, so I had a comment. First of all, if you're new around here, my comment rules are comments cannot contain. Let's see, how's the hummingbird? Hummingbird chart looks okay, so we're good. Usually I wash my work shirt and pants separately because I was worried, but this time I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do it all at once. So, anyways, comment policy on this channel. I monitor all the comments and I will allow every single comment as long as it doesn't contain inappropriate language or any graphic descriptions. So you can say my video was an absolute piece of trash. I shouldn't be on YouTube making videos. I should delete my entire channel and go find something else to do with my life. You can say that. That is totally acceptable. I will approve that in my comment section as long as it doesn't contain language and you don't use any graphic descriptions or, in that scenario, what comes to mind first is someone threatening my life because my videos are so horrible and they want to get rid of me, that sort of a thing. That's not going to be approved in my comment section at all. That's going away. But, so recently what happened though is, this was on my Green's DIY cremation and how-to video, which is pretty old, but it's getting a lot of views. We'll talk about that, like I said, in another video. But here's the thing. So what happened is one person said, hey, I have this type of animal, and these are some things that I do with them, and it's great. And they weren't mentioning cremation specifically as one of the things they've done or do with them, but then someone else came along, and they were like, you're an idiot. Why do you have animals? Or it was something like that, and they used language. And this case was easy, because language, I deleted the comment. But then it got me wondering, because it's always been, if people attack me, I don't care. Just as long as it meets my 2 criteria I mentioned earlier for, being approved into my comment section. But what if they attack other people? And I don't feel super bad about that, because the internet has a lot of horrible people on there, and you could very well end up with, you could very well end up with that same person coming under fire and getting hurt somewhere else. So I'm not too worried about that. You're gonna get hurt. Well, no guarantee you'll get hurt on the internet, but there's a really good chance that you'll come under fire on the internet from someone somewhere. And so, you kind of just expect it. That's the internet. Don't necessarily accept it. Try and actually stand your ground and fight back and do things to remove such content or walk away, go to other places where they're not going to attack you. But at the same time, also, it's the internet, and be prepared for it, okay? It's something that you gotta be prepared for. It makes me think of when I've heard from a few people, friends even, like going into police academy, one of the tests you have to do is have pepper spray sprayed in your eyes, and you have to be able to keep your eyes open for like a minute or something like that. Yeah, you have to be sort of prepared and ready for that, and it can't necessarily just all of a sudden hit you in the face and whack you out. It's something that you kind of have to be prepared for. And yeah, fighting and whatnot, be prepared for that, just like it is to be prepared for the internet, having a whole bunch of absolutely awful people. So, question is, do I delete comments where they're attacking other people? And I thought about it for a moment, and I've decided, because the internet's not a great place, and, I like the idea of my channel being a nice, happy, safe haven place, but at the same time, I also kind of sort of don't necessarily like the idea of completely blocking out and filtering all of the garbage, especially garbage aimed at other people, because the internet as a whole isn't great. And it just feels like, welcome to my super happy, walled-in YouTube channel, where everything here is great and perfect and happy and nice and la 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 la. We're in La La Land, unaware of everything else outside. That's kind of sort of what it feels like to me. And I want to keep this balance. It's going to be a clean channel. There's not going to be anything inappropriate unless by accident. Comes to mind are some of the usernames I've seen on Survive.io. But, so then it's like, so what now? So now I'm not going to remove comments from, other against other people commenting in my video on my videos. If someone asked, if it was someone left a comment, someone else said something mean that was approved by my standards, and then the first person said, "Hey, that was really mean. Could you remove the comment?" I would gladly, remove the comment and do something about it. But personally, I'm not going to. This one feels a little bit cold, like there's still a smidge of moisture on it. But I'm not super worried about it. The rest of them have been really dry, so it will dry out nice. That's huh. Urban People. Never heard of that brand. I always think it's kind of like the brand names and clothing seem a little bit weird to me, like Puma and Gucci, and it's like kind of why, and I wonder. And I haven't tried any of them yet. Maybe they are really premium, wonderful fitting clothes that are just nice. I understand styles, but then like just outright going straight after a brand it's like I don't know. I'm not into wearing a Nike T-shirt. Anyways, yeah. So I'm not going to delete comments that are attacking others in my comment section unless the other person asks me to, or if it really gets out of hand. Things might change in the future, but until then, I'm keeping. It's just going to be that way. I think that's great. So yeah. That's the thing that's going on right now with YouTube. It's not really affecting me because I'm not like under monetization, and but also here's a big thing. This I say about anything to do with demonetization and whatnot. Like I feel that like you're like I understand from advertisers' standpoint that you don't want to be on inappropriate content. I myself don't necessarily want to be alongside inappropriate content. I don't necessarily want my advertisements to be alongside, say, PewDiePie, because he swears a lot and is really, really inappropriate. Far too inappropriate that I don't ever watch him. Even the other day I was thinking especially about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. What if they were to place advertisements alongside stuff like that? I mean, there's one, the association factor, and they've got advertisements alongside bad things. But then it also makes me think, but then wouldn't that eventually maybe draw some people away? Maybe they went to the really inappropriate porn side of the internet. And then, it would be like, oh, a friendly reminder, oh yeah, that's right. I shouldn't be here, and then you leave from it because I don't know. I don't think they should. I think the negative association would be too bad. But, also, so I get the negative association and them not wanting to be associated with bad stuff. But also, especially with YouTube, you're not really associated with that stuff. You're not necessarily, the computer system is the one that put your ad in front of that video. I mean, you can pick certain channels and stuff like I did for my Airborne Death ad campaign, which I think might be still running. If not, then hey, I probably still got some money in there that hasn't been spent that I can spend on another advertising campaign for something. But yeah, it's this thing that's where you're not really associated with the content, even though it might look like it, and so I recognize that, but you're not. So I think they worry a little bit too much, especially with the comments. You are definitely not associated with the comments. The original creator of the video isn't even affiliated with said comments. They were by a separate user. So, now what? I don't know. And also, this is something interesting because I always have this thought, if you think that advertisements on videos are directly associated with the content in the video itself and its comment section, seriously. But Captain Sparkles, Jordan Marin, he pointed out in his video today that most people don't see it that way. And, hey, if that actually is the case, they should conduct a study. Some big research firm should ask people, do you think that advertisements on YouTube are directly associated with content? Do you think that TV advertisements are directly associated with content? And in the case of TV, it's a lot closer that way, because you can actually pick what channels you're on and what you run alongside, and you can say, oh, hey, yeah, I totally want my advertisements to be played during the ad breaks for Friends or The Office or whatever. You can pick that sort of a thing, and cool, YouTube, it's a lot harder because it's user-generated content. There's this big, huge unknown of what's going to be uploaded next. So, yeah, wrapping things up here, I personally think we need more filtering in the comment section, and filtering, not outright disabling comments. And yeah, and then also, they're not completely associated, so I understand not wanting to be alongside inappropriate content, but also you're not entirely associated with it. And so I think a lot of people worry too much, and people as general, I would agree, don't think they're directly associated. And yeah, advertisers should adjust accordingly. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like what I have to say, leave a like down below. Please share this with people, spread the word. I doubt this will take off and be one of my really popular videos, but it'd be nice if it is. I think a lot of people could benefit from and hear this, and they would totally enjoy seeing and hearing all of these things that are, just hearing this solution. See if you can get it up to YouTube headquarters, get them to see it too, because I think it's a really great idea. See you guys in whatever's next.